Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Key to the Treasure with myself, Neil Molokai Mystic,
Make with my angels.
and this show is all about digging a little bit deeper into the quote of the day. Nick chooses the quote and the images, puts it together, and surprises me on a daily basis. And today's quote is drum roll, please. I answered your prayer. Wow. Um, First off, I just got to say the image is perfect for this particular quote. And this quote comes from a very deep chapter, and it is
One of my favorites.
this is about are our gifts a gift or a curse? Because sometimes it can feel very, very heavy to be living in a very sensitive world, especially when you work with the heart. It's a very sensitive place to work. Um, so, Nick, what drew you to this, and what drew you to this particular image?
Um, I something in the family. Uh, I don't want to go into details. Happened, and I prayed for something that wasn't uh, wasn't likely to happen. Let's say, and it didn't happen the way I wanted. It happened differently, but it still served the purpose that I was praying for. And when I saw this, I was like, yeah, yeah, God answered my prayer. He didn't do what I was asking for, but He served the same purpose. So when I saw this quote, I was like, our prayers are never left unanswered, but they know better how to respond. So that's what I was wanted to put out there. So what do you have to say about it?
Well, this is a really powerful and hard lesson because when I would pray, the circumstance was I wanted someone to live forever. But see, my prayers were so passionate, so sincere, and so trusting that I knew, even though that prayer for this person to live forever was ridiculous because he was 104 years old, you know, but because this particular chapter was after my NDE, I knew that everything was possible, you know. So I continued with this very sincere prayer, trusting that, as ridiculous as it may seem, God would answer this prayer. And so every day, every morning, every night, it was the same prayer. Lord, I want to see Popo live forever, you know. And the reason why I say this is a hard lesson and the very powerful lesson was because um, he answered my prayer. I did have that opportunity to see Popo live forever, just not in a way that was the way I kind of envisioned my prayer to come out as. And the image that you chose really spoke to the power of that moment of being able to see my Popo live forever. If you guys notice in this image, there is this rising white stream. And yes, it is a jet that's flying up in the air. But the way God answered my prayer was I was able to see my Popo rising and ascending. And he had this beautiful white robe on. This robe was so white, it glimmered with blue. It was an unearthly white. And as he ascended, it was, he was happy and healthy and waving and smiling. His cheeks were full and he was alive. And just as I'm feeling all of this life, I hear this authoritative voice, but yet loving. And all it said was, I answered your prayer. And I knew that, yes, our prayers are heard. And yes, I got my prayers answered. But to be human also means to allow God to help us see what is for the highest good, to give us that clarity. As much as my earthliness wanted to hold on to Popo forever, because I had lost a lot of people. And yes, he was 104 years old, but I wasn't ready to let him go. And this was really saying, see the bigger picture. He's not gone, he's with you, and then the rainbow. I still get my rainbows. And I was 17 when this happened. I still get my rainbows, my beautiful double rainbows. Anytime I'm worried or upset, or I can remember this one time, flashing back at that picture of the jet. I was in a little airplane, and the airplane, there was a lot of turbulence. And everyone was looking to me because I kind of had a reputation anyway. So everyone was looking to me to calm the plane down. And I looked out the window and I saw the silhouette of the plane in the clouds, and it was encompassed by this beautiful rainbow. I mean, just a complete circle rainbow around the silhouette of the plane. And I looked at that and I just turned to everybody and I'm like, it's okay. We're okay, you know? And it wasn't that because I knew we'd be okay, even if we died, we'd be okay. It was because that was my validation. And this is how my rainbows come through, you know? But the lesson behind it really was in that particular chapter was to honor the divine plan for every individual we meet, to honor not only what we want, but to honor what is meant to be, you know. And God will give us that reassurance. He'll give us that love and compassion when things don't come out exactly the way we want, but the way it's meant to be, you know. There was that mercy to give me that ease and grace to be able to travel that road of having to deal with that earthly heartache again, you know. And it was a very intense story to share, but a very divine realization that yes, no matter how ridiculous our prayers may be, they are being heard. And that orchestration will manifest in a way that is for the highest and greatest good for not only yourself, but for everyone.
I love that. I love that. You made me laugh, but when you said you were in the plane and everybody looked at you because you have a reputation, I imagine the huge planes with 200 people.
No, this has got like, 6 to 9 people in these little tiny planes.
And everybody on you. Janeel!
But
that that would unbalance the plane.
this sign that I was gifted with um, really changed my life with the rainbow. Rainbows are very, very personally empowering for me. Um, and I mean, if I'm just thinking about a loved one and my heart is aching, I'll see a rainbow somewhere, somewhere. If I am pissed, and trust me, I do get pissed, guys. Okay, as much as I am nice, I'm 10 times as mean. Don't piss me off. And this one particular day, I was so angry, and I was getting ready to catch a bus, and I was sitting on this bench, and I kept getting that nudge, look up, look up. And I was mad. Okay. I folded my arms and I'm like, and because I know it's my divine team. I know it's Raz. I know it's my Popo. I know it's God telling me to look up, right? I folded my arms and I'm like, no, I am not looking up. I'm mad. I have a right to be mad. I am not looking up. And I purposely looked to the ground. Guess what I found? A little tiny rainbow pin. Okay. And I looked at that and I was just like, okay, okay, you win, you win. But this is a very consistent sign in my life is the rainbow. And I can remember another time I was at a family reunion, and we have really big family reunions. And it was the first year without a particular loved one that had transitioned. And my heart was aching because I missed seeing them. And we do a big camp out for the family reunion. And I'm crawling, because I crawl, guys. I'm crawling into my tent because I don't want to be around anybody. I just need my solitude. I'm an introvert, guys. And just now we set up this tent, okay? But just before I entered my tent was a little rainbow sticker on the grass just before I entered my tent, you know? These type of things can be overlooked, you guys, but they are validations that our hearts are being heard. Even when we pray without words, we are being heard. God hears us. The universe hears us. Your guides, your angels, they're supporting us. And when times feel like your gifts are curses, ask to see the higher perspective. Find your rainbow in all of its brightness and all of its contrasts. You are supported. And it's a beautiful adventure when we allow ourselves to see the rainbow. Even when you go like this, that rainbow is still there. You can fold your hands and you can stomp your feet, but the connection is still there. Your hearts are still being heard, and the answers are coming. Maybe not in ways that you want, maybe not in ways that you expect, but it's always better. It's always better. Yes, my heart hurt when Popo ascended, but when I saw his life, his fullness, his joy ascending through those rainbows, even though it was answered differently, it was the perfect answer. It was a perfect answer for me and for Popo. So respect the journey of yourself and others, and your prayers are answered.
Yeah.
Anything else, Nick?
No, I was just going to say what you said at last, like just to trust that the prayers are always answered. That's it.
Yeah. And watch for those signs. I got messages and signs again with listening to you both and the rainbow, etc. Thank you. Love both and all. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy for you. Yeah. Just even when we try to close out, you guys, know that the divine is constantly speaking to you, constantly speaking to you. And yes, we have the choice to close our eyes. Even if we close our eyes, you can still feel it. You can still feel that love and that mercy, that support. So I think this was a beautiful, beautiful picture and another outstanding quote of the day. So remember, your prayers are answered. They are answered. And maybe you won't hear that booming, authoritative, compassionate voice that I heard, but trust, please. Please trust. Makes life a lot a lot easier when we do. That is your key to the treasure, you guys. So share the quote and allow yourself and others to dig a little bit deeper and find those treasures. You've got the key. So it is aloha from me, and thank you all for viewing.
And see you next time from me.